Welcome back, hockey fans. Welcome back to the second episode of the Gettin Chippy podcast. I'm your host, Michael Magarelli. I'm here today with my co-host, Alex Burrow. And we got a lot to unpack, so let's just get straight into it.
Where do we start? Here?
NHL, IIHF. Toronto's doing well. Canada, not so much.
First, we want to talk a little bit about the World Juniors. A little bit, get into there, get the ball rolling with that.
I don't know if I want to get the ball rolling with that.
We gotta get it over with, right?
Fucking
we gotta get over.
bro. Okay.
Horrible.
Fine. Okay, where do you want to start?
Start off with honestly Canada, where we're from, right? Let's do it. So, as we know, from right now we're recording the podcast, Canada is eliminated in the quarterfinals from back-to-back years by the same team, Czechia. Where do we start? It all stemmed from that Latvia game.
Well, let's go. From last podcast, I remember saying, the way that they won against Germany would determine the way they won against America, right?
Exactly.
And I was exactly right. Not to toot my own horn, but I literally said, I was like, look, they're either going to go against Germany and they're going to kick the shit out of them, and then we're going to be able to have a chance against the United States, or we're going to win like a 4-1 for whatever game, and then we'll get smacked around by the Americans. And I was right.
Yeah, you're right. We only won 3-0 against Germany.
You can't score goals against Germany. You're not going to score goals against
America,
the best team in the tournament. Yeah. It's just not going to happen. What do we do here? We had Germany 3-0, and then who did we play in between?
We played Finland. We won 4-0.
Finland 4-0. Okay, good shit. And then Finland's in the finals.
Finland's in the finals now. As we're recording this right now, Finland beat Sweden in OT with 45 seconds left. Barn burner game that was. And then at the 7:30 p.m. game was Czechia versus the United States, and they won 4-1. So we'll see a good game tomorrow.
I wanted Czechia to win that game.
Why did you want Czechia to win?
Because, bro, fuck the States, man. I'm trying to watch the U.S. pump fucking Finland to win. Actually,
we beat Finland. Canada beat Finland, to be fair. And also Finland beat U.S. in the
only
round.
Team that they've won against. Finland's the only team that USA Hockey's lost against in the last 2 years. So we'll see how that goes for them. But
we'll see. So where do we start with the Canada?
Well, I guess we'll start with their game against Germany. It was an all-right game. I mean, they dominated.
They dominated the game. We got the win.
But they should dominated Germany.
Yeah.
And it wasn't like they won by a lot. And how about this penalty trouble?
Undisciplined. We're undisciplined here.
It is ridiculous.
Yeah.
Out of all the teams in the tournament, they have 133 penalty minutes. The next closest is Kazakhstan. 76.
Those guys are goons, though.
Yeah, but dude, Kazakhstan, two way different hockey. Do you think Kazakhstan has even close to the hockey program in Canada?
Not at all.
Not a shot.
Not at all.
And why are we getting lazy penalty, hooking, tripping, whatever, kneeing? Okay, don't get me wrong, the refs are...
That's one thing we're going to cover later is that kneeing stuff later in the Czech game with 2 minutes left. Yeah. We're going to get to that later, though.
Don't get me wrong, refs were bad, fine. But the same refs are being used for every game.
It's soft calls, right?
I know it's soft calls, but 133 penalty minutes... And the next closest team having 76, that's not a ref thing. That's a player thing.
I don't remember Canada ever getting 133
I don't remember them having over 100 penalty minutes. I don't remember having them over 70 penalty minutes. 133 penalty minutes in, 5 games?
In 5 games?
Garbage.
It's crazy. Undisciplined. We're undisciplined. This year's team, we're undisciplined.
It was ugly. And
what about that coach, though? What was the coach saying in the dressing room?
I know. The coach is soft. He's like Sheldon Keefe of Team Canada. Yeah. It's okay, guys. Just play your best, do your best, then nothing. We're only Team Canada.
You can't expect to win hockey games when you're down a man, right?
Down a man, down a coach.
Down a coach, too, yeah.
You can't, if you're led by a sheep, you're done. This coach is going in there and he's like, it's okay, guys. I don't care how many golds he has, okay? I could have won gold as a coach if I had Bedard on my team in 2022. Fine, good for you. Look, at the end of the day, they didn't play with much heart. Even against the game against the Czechs, they looked slow.
They looked really slow.
Don't get me wrong, they had a couple good periods. There's the second
and third period,
they were all over them.
That first period, though, we let in 3 goals.
Yeah.
And we let one goal in with a minute into the game.
Yeah, and then we let one in with 7 seconds left.
Yeah. And then we let in another one in the third period with 30 seconds left on the PK. Like,
Yeah. Anyway, well, let's go to the United States game, I guess, then.
yeah, let's go.
Canada versus the U.S.
So,
What do you think?
New Year's Eve game, big game. Everyone was watching the New Year's Eve. Everyone was having a good time partying.
Except me after they lost.
Yeah, exactly. Well, it was kind of a sad day. You wanted your team to win on New Year's, but
Honestly, I thought they played with them. Like, they were playing with the U.S. for a pretty good amount of time. Like, but again, penalty trouble. The
And
U.S. scored, what, 2 goals on the power play? A goal or 2? I don't remember.
I think all the goals for the U.S. were on the power play.
All of them?
I think except for the one empty net.
Yeah.
When Easton Cowan gave the puck through up the middle, right to Cole Eiserman.
But, like, see what I'm saying? Like, penalties. Like,
It all stems from the penalties.
I don't get where this undisciplined play is coming from because, like, half of these guys are returning players. They've played on these World Junior teams that have been successful.
And also, half these guys have been playing hockey since they were 3-4 years old. They should know
like
systems of hockey.
Like half of our AAA teams in like GTHL could beat Team Kazakhstan. Okay, how are we getting even? We're getting almost double the penalty minutes Team Kazakhstan's getting. Like, and besides the top 3 teams in penalties, other than that, we had more than double of every other team in the tournament besides the top 3 in penalties.
Yesterday, we were watching the U16 JRC team, and that team looked way better than Team Canada right now.
They were
way better. Way better. They were gelling. They knew to move the puck. They were flowing through the ice.
They didn't get any penalties.
No penalties. Granted,
they're playing the 3rd last place team, but still. Like, that's how Canada should be.
Yeah.
Canada should be the top team in the tournament. And this is also what I want to get to. Leaving out players like Beckett Seneke, Michael Misa,
Angel Cristal.
Bit them in the ass. Like, we couldn't score a goal to save our lives. Like, in the American game, we lost whatever. Or
we lost 4-1.
4-1. 4-1. Usually the game against the United States, it's like a 5-4 game.
Yeah.
And then a 6-5 game. It's a shootout.
Yeah.
Then Latvia, we only scored 2 goals. And we can't score on 8 penalty shots.
8 different
shooters.
8 different attempts.
Whatever. 8 different attempts. We can't score. If you give me 8 attempts, I'll score at least one.
Like, well, that's what we said last podcast.
Yeah, exactly. So. And then we had Czechia.
We honestly we only played 40 minutes of hockey that whole game out of the full 60. We dominated the second, we dominated the third. But where was that urgency when we were in the first period? I honestly feel like Canada plays better when they're down. That's not how it should be, though.
Honestly, fuck the United States game. I don't want to talk about that game because that game was just whatever. Like, they lost. Like, they just played and they got outplayed. They got outshot, outplayed. They started the game off 7-0 down. Like,
7 shots to 0 down.
0. Like, they were getting outplayed the whole game. It was simple as that. But Czechia, the team that eliminated us
last year,
you think we would have some pride? Like, maybe we should beat these guys, because they eliminated us last year, and like they're not that good of a team. They're not that good, and the diving was brutal though. Like, well, we let in a goal the first shift of the game. That's not a good start.
Not a good start at all.
You never want to start down, and especially not on the first shift of the game. No one's even in the game yet. You're already down. Then
we go off our defenseman's glove into the net.
Well, no. Not even that. Like, we had a goal. We scored. We tied the game 1-1.
We tied the game 1-1. That was who scored that goal? Oh yeah, on the PK.
Yeah.
Tanner
again
on the PK.
Another penalty kill goal after Yager missed a breakaway. Might I add? So
that was a good goal. He crashed the net.
Yeah, whatever. Okay, Yager should score on the fucking breakaway, and. Whatever, he passed in front of the net, got a lucky whatever, fine. Good goal. But we've had more penalty kill goals this tournament than power play goals. How are you going to win a World Junior Championship if you can't score on the power play as Team Canada? You're not.
You're not going to.
You're not going to win.
Not at all.
You're not. So it just comes again to heart. Like, I don't see heart in this team. It's just they look so lazy.
Looked very lazy.
Like, they just look lethargic out there.
It honestly looked like they didn't want to be there at all.
Yeah, they're just like skating around. We're Team Canada, so because I'm Team Canada, I'm gonna win. That's not how it works.
You gotta play.
Like, look at this Latvian team. We're jumping in front of shots, blocking shots with their head. The Czechian team, they were diving all over the place, swatting their sticks all over the place. Okay, like,
it's brutal to watch, man. Like,
ugly
at all.
But those refs, man, I don't know what it is about the World Junior Championship or international hockey as a whole, but it's just gotten fucking soft. Ridiculously soft. Like, how are we calling 5-minute kneeing penalties? They're skating.
And it's
he
shoulder
comes in.
shoulder.
He went shoulder on shoulder. The Czechian dekes at the last second
into
his knee.
And they call him
and
5
then
minutes.
he looks up, smiles, and they say, "Oh, my leg hurts." Fucking pussy.
That's like a soccer player type shit.
Ridiculous. Okay, like, what are we playing, soccer for real? What are we playing soccer?
And
now?
mind you, and the guy that got ejected was our second line center.
Yeah.
Right? And then we have who's gonna replace that spot, right?
Exactly. And at the end of the game, they call
With 2 minutes left.
Was Gibson?
2 minutes left, tied
They called on the
3-3.
knee?
Gibson knee to knee. That was a minor penalty. But that should never have been a penalty in
It shouldn't
any
be a
hockey.
penalty at all. Like, I was watching the Leafs game tonight, Leafs versus Bruins, and there was an exact same play, no call. Do you know why? Because it's the NHL. In the NHL, we don't call weak shit. Well, don't get me wrong.
There's some horrible calls.
They do, but nowhere near as much as IHF.
Not at all.
It's ridiculous.
Not at all.
I cannot believe we're calling these soft penalties. I'm not just saying that as a fan of Canada. I'm saying I've watched almost all the games of the World Junior Championships this year, and there's been some questionable calls. Like, I was watching Finland versus Sweden. Finland got a penalty with 2 minutes left in the game. Lucky that the Swedes didn't score, but it was bullshit. He literally was battling for the puck. His arm got wrapped up here, and he just pushed him, and he called a hold. It's not a hold. When he pushes the guy off of him, it's not a hold.
You're trying to get him off you, right? So.
Yeah. And they're battling for a puck. Like, if you want to make these soft calls, go be a soccer ref. If you want to go call people diving,
let these boys play, man.
Let the kids play. They're here trying to make a name
their country.
Yeah, they're here trying to make a name for themselves. They're not here to be like, "Oh yeah, ref, he touched me funny. Can you call a penalty?"
To call a penalty, yeah.
And these players now, they know that these refs are calling that shit, so they're diving around like soccer players. If it were up to me, they should allow fighting in IHF. They should allow hard body contact. It felt like every big hit, an arm went up.
It's called all the time.
Just because someone's hit hard doesn't mean it's a charge.
Exactly.
Or just because someone's hit hard doesn't mean it's a knee or an interference. Look, I've watched hockey my whole life, okay? Not even, some of these calls wouldn't even have been called in single A hockey.
Not at all.
Ridiculous.
Because they actually let the boys play, right?
Like, what are we doing? Like, as a viewer, as someone who's been watching, as I said, been watching hockey
for 16 years of life, yeah.
my whole life, I'm not trying to see soft bullshit calls and the refs taking over the games. Look, I get it. You're a ref, BPP. I don't want to watch you. No one gives a shit about you. You're just there.
We don't want to see you call the calls.
You're just there because you have to be there. Just sit there, officiate the game, but don't make it about you.
And if there's a for sure call you see, then call it.
I know.
Not a questionable call.
Exactly. Like, right? You don't need to just sling your arm up. Put your whistle in your pocket. Shut the fuck up.
And let the boys play.
And let the boys play.
Exactly.
It's ridiculous now. I'm so sick and tired of seeing games being spoiled by bad, shitty refereeing. Don't get me wrong. I'm not making excuses for Canada. They should have won that game against Czechia.
They're horrible.
Regardless.
Horrible.
But that call at the end of the game,
with 2 minutes left,
them.
2 minutes left.
Yeah.
It should never have been called with 2 minutes left.
And then they score
in a tight game like that, they score a low blocker.
Yeah,
and
mind you
that the goalie should have that.
He should have had it. Fine.
The goalie should have that.
But that's besides the points. They should have never been on the power play to begin with. And Canada just offensively, defensively look
horrible.
I can't even put it into words how bad they looked. We have
interference after tripping, after everything, after hooking,
penalty.
They don't move their feet, right?
Just laziness on the defense. That last goal, I get you're on the penalty kill, but you can't leave a guy open on the top of the dot.
Not at all.
The goalie should have had it, but still, regardless of the fact.
And also, they had also trouble clearing the puck too.
Yeah, and they're I don't want to rip on Dickinson or anything because guess what? He tried to shove the puck away from the net. It hits off his glove, and it goes in the net. Look, do you know what? We've all played hockey. We've all been there. We've all done some stupid shit.
Coming from a defense, I put a couple pucks in the net. Yeah. It's a horrible feeling.
You know what? Exactly. I'm not even gonna rip on him because guess what? He's one of our St. Mike's brothers too, and he's one of the. He got drafted 11th overall. He's a stud. He's gonna be a great NHL player one day. He's great defensively. He had a bad tournament. And that's how life is sometimes. You have some bad weekends, bad
games.
That's how it goes.
Exactly.
But just overall, even like
overall
players like
play.
Easton Cowan being selfish too. Did you see?
Yeah.
Like he had wide open 2-on-0, wide open pass for a backdoor shit, and he decides to take some shitty shot at the pad. It's just that play right there summed up the whole Canadian World Juniors for me.
Selfish. They were just
selfish playing. And they looked like they were looking for a highlight reel instead of just to win.
I would rather win than be on SportsCenter. Right?
Like in the NHL too, you think these NHL scouts are looking for guys that are just like hogging the puck and trying to go through everyone? No, they're looking for the team guy.
They're looking for the team guy that's willing to put in the work. Yeah, all right. Look for the guys that put up the most points.
Whatever. You can put up points and still be a team guy. Like not every point you have to have has to be a goal. Like Wayne Gretzky had way more assists than he had goals.
That's true. He was a team player.
All the points leaders, the top 10 points leaders, have more assists than they have goals. No, like not everyone is gonna be Ovechkin, scoring just a natural goal scorer. But you can make the league and be a very effective player in the league by just being the assist guy, being the guy that sets up every play.
Like Mitch Marner.
The
assist god right now. He's got 42 assists.
Mitch Marner, Connor McDavid, Nathan McKinnon, all these guys have many things in common. They're great skaters, but more importantly than their shot, they have great vision.
Great vision and IQ.
Yeah, great vision is what makes hockey players elite, in my opinion.
And whenever the puck's on their stick, they're able to make something happen no matter what. They have the vision, they're able to make a play no matter what.
Yeah, speaking of Nathan McKinnon's a fucking dog, okay? Not only does he score, not only does he get assists,
speed,
but he hits and he fights. He's an animal.
And look at him.
He stands up for that Avalanche team is in such a good position right now. I know they just lost to Montreal tonight in shootouts, whatever, but they're in such a good position right now. Just the amount of depth they have, and they have guys that just do everything. Mikko Rantanen, Gabriel Landeskog, Nathan McKinnon, all guys that are not afraid to shake the mitts, and all guys
all
the guys that can be 100-point players. Like, exactly. What else do you want? The Leafs, though, the way they played tonight, they were playing a hard hit. Matthews' first game back, he went in there.
Did you see that the empty net goal? He dove for that puck.
Yeah,
that was a good play, man.
But Matthews too, man. He's throwing his body around. He's throwing hits all game. It's about time. He's only 6'3", fucking 230 pounds. Figure it out, kid. Attaboy. It's about time.
Matthews is the best forechecker in the NHL. He's the best.
Those are fighting words. Some people might disagree with you.
When he doesn't have the puck, he is the best to get it off someone.
You think so? The best. Those are fighting words. Some people might disagree with you.
His second efforts are the best in the NHL, in my opinion. I might be biased as a Leafs fan, but in my opinion,
you think so?
He has the best second efforts ever right now in the NHL. Stick lifts, turn the puck.
All right. Well, if we want to turn to the NHL and the Leafs, they played good this game, but I was at actually the Leafs versus Capitals game last Saturday. And look, they lost, but I thought they played a really good game, to be honest with you. They just didn't have the balances. They ran into a hot goalie and Thompson over there, and he's been playing. They acquired him this offseason.
Logan Thompson? Yeah, from Vegas?
Yeah, and he's been playing like a stud. Yeah. He's been playing like a stud for them. They're first in the league right now. And Thompson's, don't get me wrong, they're scoring. Thompson's a big part of that.
There's a lot of things that happened in that game. Jacob Chikrin, for a couple games back, he scored a goal. I think 2 goals. Alex Ovechkin, 1 goal closer to catching Gretzky.
Whatever, empty net. Who cares?
Was it empty net? It was. Yeah, it was.
Empty net merchant. He has fucking 70 empty net goals in his career. He's a fucking merchant.
Does it count for the stats?
Whatever.
It counts for the stats.
Whatever.
1 goal closer to catching Gretzky.
I really hope he doesn't get it.
I hope he does.
Don't get me wrong, I love Ovechkin. I think he's
a generational scorer.
He's a generational scorer. But I want that record in Canadian hands, man. Wayne Gretzky.
There's gonna be another Canadian eventually. McDavid.
McDavid's more of an assist guy. And he doesn't have the team around him to score goals like that. He's the guy that has to set up the plays. No one's gonna set him up on that.
Leon Draisaitl, Ryan
Draisaitl doesn't play with Draisaitl. Draisaitel's not on his line.
On the power play?
Yeah, who gives a shit on the power play? He's on his line for 4 minutes a game. That's nothing. Not even 2 minutes because they've split it up half and half on the power play. Well, whatever. Let's say a minute 30. He plays with them for 3 to like 4.5, 5 minutes a game. Look, if you swapped McDavid and Austin Matthews right now, McDavid would be like 150, 200 point guy every season.
On the Leafs?
Oh, yeah. If you put him with Marner and Nyes instead of Matthews, Marner, and Nyes.
Matthew Nyes has been playing well lately.
Yeah, he scored a hat trick tonight.
Scored a hat trick tonight, yeah.
But I'm just saying, like, if you put McDavid and you swap him for Matthews and put him in the Leafs system, he would have easily 150 points a season. Easily.
Just imagine that. Connor McDavid in a Leafs jersey coming home.
It's going to happen.
Back to Toronto.
It's going to happen.
Nah, pretty sure he's gonna be an Oiler for the rest of his life. I hate to break it to you.
It's going to happen.
He's going to be an Oiler for the rest of his life. He's going to be
a hometown boy. He's going to come back. I'm telling you.
That's what they said about. I honestly said the same thing about JT. He's going to be in an Islander uniform for the rest of his life, but he returned back home, right?
Yeah, well, fuck JT. I mean, JT's playing good right now, but
they ripped the C off of him. Look what he's doing now.
I don't care, dude. They better not re-sign him next season. I don't want him re-signed.
Why not?
Because we don't need any more fucking goal scorers. You have this core 4 team for 7 years now, and what do we have? Dick. We've gone past the first round once. We caught lightning in a bottle, and they got eliminated like 4 straight games by Wildcard 2, who won the Stanley Cup 2 years later. So, and look at that team, Florida Panthers. They have a couple core scorers. Don't get me wrong, Bennett, Tkachuk, but Huberdeau, but
not Huberdeau. Huberdeau's on
or sorry, Barkov.
Barkov, yeah.
Like they have core scorers, but at the end of the day, they didn't win because they can outscore an opponent. They won
because they have grit.
Because they have grit. And they made it. They were a very tough team to play against.
And they also have guys in the third and fourth line that just grind and they're able to put up points as well.
Yeah, they have depth. And and every game they would just run through your mouth until you didn't want to play anymore.
Shove down your throat.
Yeah, exactly. And that's the way most Stanley Cup caliber teams play. They have a hard forecheck, and they have a bottom third and fourth line that can still produce but have some grit on them. And I feel like the Leafs are starting to do that this year. They picked
up some good players like
Lorentz, Dewar. I'm talking about offensive 3 and 4th lines like Dewar, Lorentz, Camp. All these guys, they can produce.
They've been in the league for a good 8-9 years. They know what the league's a little bit about now. They've experienced it.
Yeah, well, like Lorentz is young. Dewar is young. I honestly, as much as people are going to hate me,
but Domi's also older.
Yeah. As much as people are going to hate me for saying this, I still love having Reeves on that 4th line. Like, as much as he's a fucking duster and he, like, doesn't know how to use a hockey stick, except for hitting people with it, you need that guy on the bench. You need that guy to be like, you know what? Just to even sit there and just put fear in the opponent to, like, police the game. Like, we have to go old school with this team. Because
put him on the ice when you want to get something going, right?
Yeah, but not even, like, you look at these Leafs players, like, if they don't have that on the team, they're going to get fucking abused. Because Matthews won't fight. Matthews has actually shown a bit of leadership this year. He's thrown a couple cross checks for his boys, whatever. He's not going to fight. Marner's not going to fight. Marner doesn't even have hair on his face yet. Nylander's not going to fight.
Tavares will fight. He'll fight. He'll fight. I've seen him fight.
Okay, fine. Let's say he fights maybe once or twice every 5 years.
A Tanev will fight.
Tanev. Here, let's name the guys that are on the team right now. Tanev. OEL.
McCabe.
McCabe's not that good of a fighter.
He's a good fighter. Reeves will fight. Domi will fight. Simon Benoit will fight.
So out of a 21-man roster,
Tavares will fight. That's 6.
No, he won't.
We'll fight.
I'm not counting that.
I also disagree. I think Matthews will fight. I've seen him fight multiple times.
He has never dropped his gloves in his life.
I'm pretty sure he has.
He has like 0 fights. And it's not even about the fighting, dude. It's about having that presence that if you fuck around, you're going to find out. And the Leafs historically have not had that.
For the past, how many years?
Since the core 4 has been around, we haven't really had that.
Honestly, even like, we haven't had a guy that can fight and strikes fear into an opponent since Dion Phaneuf.
Yeah, but I don't want guys that just do that. I want, obviously, skilled players. But you need just even that one guy like the Ryan Reeves to just sit there and like where he'll be a healthy scratch half the season. That's fine. But in the playoffs,
he'll be in the playoffs for
I'll
sure.
sacrifice a depth guy to have Reeves on the bench, even just to sit on the bench the whole game, just to be the police officer.
And then throw him out when things get
when things get chippy. Because in the playoffs, things get chippy. Like it's getting chippy. They get chippy. Getting chippy.
Exactly.
Like in the playoffs, it's hard hitting. It's everyone finishes their checks. It's not a soft little IIHF tournament anymore.
Type shit.
Yeah, it's not IIHF anymore. It's not international hockey. It's the NHL. We fight. We hit.
The playoffs it comes down to who wants it more and who's willing to put their body on the line.
Yeah, like look at that St. Louis Blues team in 2019. They didn't have an ounce of fucking skill on that team.
Not at all.
An ounce of talent on that team. But hey,
They wanted it.
Berube led his team. They were fighting in practice at the trade deadline. They're fighting each other in practice.
Exactly.
And then they won a Stanley Cup by the end of it because they were just a hard-working team. Binnington played out of his mind.
Yeah.
And that's all you need to win. You need a hot goalie. You need depth. Because, like, what happens if one guy gets shut down? Like, you lose an Austin Matthews.
On the
Leafs,
we need a guy like Kachuk that can score, can set up plays, and that can fight. And I'll rile the boys up. We need a guy like Kachuk.
Yeah.
Kachuk.
We need some shit disturbers on the team. That's what we need. We need like a Marchand.
We need a shit disturber on the first line. A good shit disturber.
Like a Marchand.
Like a rat, like Marchand.
Yeah, we need a Marchand, a Brady Tkachuk, a Matthew Tkachuk.
Yeah. Good first liner.
Yeah.
Or even a McKinnon. I don't like...
Wow.
McKinnon...
You were a bit above your asking price there, buddy. You were a little over the salary cap at that point.
Trade Marner, they're basically the same, right? Marner's the same as McKinnon, right?
No one will ever trade.
They're paid the same, so they should be the same.
I know, but look at the two difference of players. Like Marner's a good player, but he's a little wimp on the ice. Like he's not going to be the guy to jump into a scrap if his boy's getting hammered. He's the guy that look at me, I can dangle and I can pass.
I can dangle, I can pass. And
he's not that guy. Then you see players like Nathan McKinnon, where like he sees his boy getting like hit from behind or whatever. He's the first guy in, gloves off, fucking hammering him on the floor.
He's the type of guy to see someone on the ice and he's not even on the ice, so jump over the boards and go attack him.
Exactly. And he's still the 120-point guy, Hart Trophy, whatever. So that's all it comes down to. You need guys that are willing to put their body on the line for the team. And it builds respect amongst the team, and it builds a good character in the dressing room. Talk about character in the dressing room. Fucking Matthews and Marner, they're arguing on the bench in like preseason, crying. Like Marner's throwing his gloves, having a fucking temper tantrum.
Preseason, man.
Yeah, and then William Nylander's like, "Shut the fuck up." Like,
exactly.
put a letter on his chest.
He has a letter.
Give the C to Nylander.
Yeah.
Matthews is a baby.
And then
Marner's a baby. Give the fucking letter to Nylander, telling him to shut the fuck up and play hockey.
Exactly. Stop being a little pussies and just play.
We need a captain like a Radko Gudas. We need a Jacob Trouba, a Radko Gudas.
They're on the same team. That's a good combo. Radko Gudas and Jacob Trouba.
Exactly.
That's a force.
They have a lot of leadership on that team now, which is good. That's good for that team. Anaheim's, they're struggling right now because they can't score a fucking goal.
Yeah.
But
mind you, that they have all young guys, don't have that much depth.
They're going to develop. Same thing with don't get me wrong, I fucking hate Montreal. But they have a decent depth team, and they're the youngest team in the NHL. So they're going to be a good team eventually. It may take them maybe another 2 years, 3 years, but eventually they'll be a contending team again.
Let's go west though. The San Jose Sharks. So Macklin Celebrini and Will Smith. They're
Sam Dickinson,
who
just played in the IHF. Like
they got a good young core. Guys. They might be good in 4 or 5 years. Get a couple good more first round draft picks.
Yeah,
and we'll see what happens from there, right?
Yeah, talking about West Coast. The exact opposite. We have the LA Kings, one of the oldest teams in the league.
They're still, but I think they're, I believe, second or third in the Pacific right now.
Yeah,
they're doing well. They have
veteran presence.
Drew Doughty's out though, but with a broken. I think he's still out with a broken leg or something like that. I believe. I'm not sure, but when he returns, more veteran presence on the ice, right? So
trying with Drew Doughty actually wanted to be a Leaf.
He did,
and we took Tavares instead of him. Was that the right choice?
Right now, it's looking like it.
Not really.
John Tavares.
Okay, let's go through the history. We have 7 years.
John Tavares.
We have 7 years of John Tavares. What do we got with John Tavares?
Yeah, he was our captain for 6 years.
Okay. And we have what?
1 first round win.
1 first round win. Okay, so fuck off. We have nothing.
Right now, right?
We can't even get past to this. When was the last time we made the 3rd round?
I think it was 2004.
4? We made the 2nd round 2004. I don't know if we made the 3rd round 2004.
I think the last time we made it to the 3rd round was when Leafs versus Gretzky. And Gretzky.
Yeah. So like what? 1993.
1993.
Yeah. So what? Fucking 32 years.
Bullshit game, by the way. That should have been a penalty anyway.
Yeah, I know. He slashed him in the face. I watched the video. But fuck, we weren't even alive. We weren't even an idea.
Still in my days, Wilson.
Exactly. So, at the end of the day, like, was it the right decision to have Tavares over Doughty and a very capable defenseman?
You never know. Over time, he's. You never know. He might aging into a better hockey player over time. Because
Dude, he's fucking 32 years old, 33 years old. If he hasn't aged into a better hockey player by now.
Still, I think like 32, 33, that's still the prime of your career, man. Like,
the prime of your career, dude. Last year he had a shit season. This year he's having a pretty decent season.
But
he's also had a fire lit under his ass because they fucking ripped the C right off his chest.
That's what I'm talking about.
And made him like hand it over to Austin Matthews.
Mind you, that was a class act though. He was there to actually give the C over to Matthews.
I know. I wouldn't have done it, to be honest.
I would have if I was the captain.
That's a fucking bullshit. It looks bad. It looks bad on the organization too.
And mind you, RC right now, oh my back hurts, and he's been
he's a fucking pussy. But that looks really bad on your organization. Like you strip your captain. That's like a San Jose Sharks move. But Jumbo Joe.
Honestly, I like that because maybe that's what it takes. New leadership on the team to.
You want Austin Matthews to be your leader?
I don't know.
Give it to Riley.
We gotta try something. At least,
give it to anyone but him.
We gotta try something.
Don't give it to anyone on the core 4, in my opinion. Look, like Austin Matthews is a pretty boy. As simple as that. He's going to be the one that scores goals, but he's also going to be the guy that's out with the shoulder injury, and he's like going to be made of glass like Kirby Doc on the Montreal Canadiens, okay? I think we should have given that seat to a guy like Riley. He's not afraid to stamp power on someone's fucking chiclets when he takes a slap shot into an empty net at the end of the game, okay? That's the guy I want leading the team. The guy who's going to fight for the respect of the team. Not the guy who's fucking mooning police officers in Arizona, okay?
But honestly, I think a new leadership is what the team needed, though.
Oh, yeah, for sure.
New leadership was the team needed.
But I think they should have done it after this season.
Why? After
his contract ends. You can get rid of him and then give his seat.
Chances are.
But then if you keep him, at least if you re-sign him, it's like a turnover of a new page. You're re-signing, but you're also like turning the page on him. Instead, you're just like kind of just destroying the dynamic, in my opinion. I didn't like the move when it first happened, to be honest with you.
You didn't like the JT trade?
No, not the trade. I didn't like stripping the C off his chest and like the end of the offseason. Skeeve, I don't know.
You know, we'll honestly see. It's 40 games this season. We're at this current moment in time. We're first in the Atlantic with 52 points through 40 games. At this time, it's looking like a good move.
It's a long season.
At the time,
it's a long season.
That's what I'm saying. At this time, anything can happen. There's still 52 games left or 42 games left, whatever. Anything can happen. But at this current moment in time, as we're filming this, it's looking good. I don't want to jinx anything, but it's looking good.
It is. But I don't think it's a very classy move to strip your captain before his contract's up. That's just it didn't rub with me right. You strip your captain on the last year of his contract.
When they stripped Jumbo Joe and they gave it to Patrick Marleau, what happened? They made it to the Western Conference Finals 3 years in a row. Made it to the finals. One of those years too. They didn't win, but made it to the Western Conference Finals. Made it to the finals. So
do you know what all Stanley Cup teams have in common? They have solid leadership from the coaches and from the captains and even from the players who aren't captains. Okay? Like, look at every single team. They've had competent leadership the whole time, the whole way through the playoffs. Like, Lightning, they had Stamkos, Hedman, and Kucherov. All guys have been leaders on that team for a long time. Teams like Boston, they had Chara, Bergeron, Marchand, and now all leaders on the team that have been there the whole time. And then Chara retires, Bergeron gets it.
It's like almost like
it's a hierarchy because they have guys on that team who have taken pay cuts to be on that team together to win Stanley Cups. So there's a respect on that team. There's a respect. There's a hierarchy on that team because these guys that are just coming into Boston now, or let's say in 2018, those guys who are just coming into Boston now know who the leadership is already because they've had solid leaders for like a decade. It's like the Russian team, like the Soviet Union team through the 1960s, 70s, and 80s until they lost to the Americans. Solid leadership. They've been together playing with each other forever. And that's why they're a great hockey team. Like Boston, they have the hierarchy. And they kept going down the ladder. Zdeno Chara retired or got traded, whatever.
Bergeron C.
Bergeron
A,
retires.
Give the A to Charlie McAvoy.
Yeah. They have a hierarchy. They have like seasoned players who get their captaincies.
And they had guys like David Backes and David Krejci too.
Yeah, exactly. But they have guys who get their captaincies based on merit, not based on them being the best player. You think Zdeno Chara was the best fucking scorer on the Bruins?
No, he was the guy that could.
He was a big, tall guy. He had a big slap shot.
That struck fear into every single team. Right?
And when he was on the ice, no one fucked around. Because if you fucked around, Big Z was going to grab you, throw you on your face, and hammer you in. And that was it.
In that 2019 playoffs, this guy broke his jaw in the finals, and he comes back and he wins a fish bowl.
Bro, hockey's the only sport where you can break your jaw in the first period and be back in the third period or be questionable for the next game. No other sport's like that. And you think if Austin Matthews broke his jaw, he'd be back in the game?
No.
That's what I'm saying. We don't have tough leadership that leads by example. Yeah, that's cool. He can score goals, but can he lead a hockey team?
When he ran to the post,
he ran into the crossbar.
He was out for 2 games.
Yeah, he's like, I lost my jibs, so I can't see the fucking crossbar.
But guys like Tanev has basically got no teeth left.
Yeah, exactly.
He's fighting the corners still, right?
Exactly. Teams that are winning hockey games consistently have consistent leadership that earn their ranks not by like scoring goals, but by the way they play the game, by the way they are in the dressing room. Look, we don't know everything about Matthews. He can be an amazing dressing room guy, sure.
No.
But when you look at him on the ice, he's just like, I don't like watching him in overtime sometimes because he's the guy, if he turns over the puck, he's not back-checking hard. He's watching the play.
I don't know. Like I said, best second efforts in the NHL.
Yeah, best second efforts on offense in the NHL.
Like
he is,
and
don't get me wrong,
he's one of the best back checkers and forecheckers in the game.
He leads the league in block shots. Fine. He's a Selke candidate. Fine. But there has been a lot of times in overtime where he'll give the puck away and he'll lollygag on the way back. He's guilty of it. Nylander's guilty of it. Marner's guilty of it. Tavares is guilty of it. And what are they all? The core four. You think you'll ever see Crosby lollygag back in overtime? No. He's busting his ass getting back there, ready to fucking block a shot with his teeth to win a game. All these successful teams, their leaders play exactly like how they would if they were on the first, second, third, or fourth line. And they all play the exact same. They lead by example. If you shouldn't tell a guy to do something that you wouldn't do yourself. You're not going to tell the fourth liner to block shot with his face if you're not ready to do the same damn thing to win a game.
Mind you, that the fourth liner, those grit guys, they should know that you should block the shots.
Face.
They should know that. They should know that.
They should know that. Fuck that, bro. They should know that. They should follow their leaders. If you want to be a successful team, you will block shots from the first line to the second line to the third line to the fourth line. And look, Matthews is blocking shots. Honestly, he's developed as a player. He's become a much better player than he was. I'm not going to say he wasn't, but I just think that leadership for the Toronto Maple Leafs has been a real struggle for the last 20 years. Like, we've had long stints of not having captains for reasons.
Matt Sundin. I think he's a pretty good leader, Matt Sundin.
Okay, fine. But we had Matt Sundin, then what, Dion Phaneuf, right?
He was a good leader, Dion.
Yeah. And then we had, 4 years without a captain?
Yeah, until JT comes in. He was the first 25th captain?
Yeah, but he got traded in, and here's your captaincy.
That's one thing I had a question about because he didn't really prove himself.
He got traded in, here's your captaincy. Look.
Mind you that he was a captain on the New York Islanders, so maybe they thought he'd be a good fit as a captain. He was
also their number one draft pick. And what do you usually do with number one draft picks? You give them an A or a C so they stay on the team. You
make them happy.
A leadership role, right? Like, at the end of the day, it's leadership that's going to win you Stanley Cups, and I don't think the Toronto Maple Leafs leadership is there yet to win the Stanley Cup.
Well,
They
we'll
have
see.
they have a lot of former captains on that team. Matthews now, Tavares, like they have guys that should be leaders on that team. Now they just have to prove it.
We have all these leaders on this team. I just don't understand like how they're not able to work with each other.
Yeah, or how are we like going up 3-1 in a series against Montreal
and losing 4-3?
4-3.
Especially that Montreal team, mind you, that COVID year, we should never be losing to that team.
Yeah, or like you look at McDavid, they're losing in the finals 3-0. It's not fucking good enough. He's in the room, firing up his boys, breaking fucking sticks in the room, getting his boys together. And they almost came back and won.
Down from 3-0.
Because he's a competent leader. He doesn't have the C on the chest just because he's the best player. He has that C on his chest because he wants to win bad.
And when he didn't win, he didn't even go out to
exactly. And when he
the contract.
When he didn't win, when he didn't win the Stanley Cup, there's no way in hell he was going to go out, receive a personal trophy when his team didn't have a cup.
Exactly, because
that's what a leader's made of.
Great. My name's to be on the trophy, but what about everyone else's name?
How about my boys' names?
Yeah.
I'd say I don't want it. If I'm not going to eat if my boys ain't going to eat.
Exactly.
And that's how you win championships.
You went to war for 2 straight months with those boys.
Exactly.
4 series long blocking shots, broken bones, everything.
Exactly. And
why do I deserve my only name on there? Right?
Exactly. Yeah. You're gonna go out and accept a trophy, a personal trophy? Fuck no. And he made the right decision. There was zero way he was gonna go out there and get that trophy. Zero. And I respect that. And though that's a team, they're struggling a little bit, but they'll be in the playoffs. And they'll go deep again. If they make it into the playoffs, they will go deep.
They know what it takes. Just like how Florida lost in the finals against Vegas. They knew what it takes to get back to the finals, and they won, right?
Yeah.
They know what it takes now.
They will go deep. Even teams that have, like, Matthew Tkachuk, Brady Tkachuk. Brady Tkachuk's captain of the Senators. They're fucking playing pretty decent this year. They might even make the playoffs. Like...
It's gonna be tight. I think they're 5th in the Atlantic. It's gonna be a tight.
Leadership is so important. Like, you can see teams crumble under poor coaching and under poor leadership. You could have a Team Canada filled with the best studs in the league.
But if you have shit leadership,
like, hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. And if you don't have capable leadership, getting your talent to work hard, you will lose games against teams you should beat. Simple as that. That's when Team Latvia beats Team Canada.
We need leadership like the 2008 and 2012 Olympics. We need that type of leadership for Team Canada.
Yeah.
All those guys. And mind you that, Crosby wasn't even the captain of the team. And Crosby's a great leader. Well, we'll see in the Four Nations Cup.
He'll be captain.
No, he is captain. So it's already announced.
Yeah. Like, well, who else are you going to name?
Even McDavid in a press conference, he's like, I saw the roster, and he's like, the reporter was like, do you think you should have the C? And he's like, no fucking chance.
Exactly.
No chance. Crosby, sure, is a leader.
But that's the kind of impact Crosby's had on hockey. He's the guy that everyone turns to when they want to be a team player.
In 2005, when he was drafted, they knew he was going to be special.
Yeah, but Wayne Gretzky knew he was going to be special, but not even because of his skill. Just the way of a leader he is. He formulated the system that the Boston Bruins used to win the Stanley Cup. He took a pay cut with Evgeny Malkin and Chris Letang, and they started a dynasty. And look at it now. He has a C, Evgeny has an A, and Letang has an A. And they've had that core leadership for like 12 years now, or whatever it is, whatever.
They have that core 3, and Leafs had the core 4, but their core 3 seems to be working better.
Exactly. Look whose core 3 is working better, because they all took a pay cut.
And it shows you that money is not always the answer, right?
Money is the worst. Money doesn't buy championships at all. Like, money only buys championships especially in a league that's a salary cap. Like, this isn't like soccer.
It doesn't bring you championships, and it increases your ego.
Yeah, this isn't soccer or baseball where you can pay a guy
like Shohei Ohtani,
$750 million and win a championship. It's not like that. This is a salary cap league. So if you want to make the salary cap and win a championship without doing some Tampa Bay injured reserve bullshit, you need guys that are willing to take pay cuts for the team. You need the Crosbys, the Malkins, the Bergerons, the Marchands, the guys who are going to take the salary cuts to win
'Cause they want to
championships.
win. At the
You're
end-
not going to win with Matthews making 13.5,
Exactly.
Marner making 13. Matthew Nyes wants like 7 million. He's not going
He's
to
not
get
going to
it.
get that because they have no money to do that.
But not even that, he shouldn't. He scored a hat trick tonight, fine. He's had 2 multi-goal games. This one and one before. He's not a stud.
At the end of the day,
And he's playing with Marner and Matthews.
He should have points.
I could
He
have
should have
fucking 60, 70 points a year if I played with Marner and Matthews too. Okay?
at the end of the day, every childhood dream since when they started playing hockey at like 2, 3, 4 years old is to have their name in that cup, and they'll do anything to have their name in that cup.
Well, you'd hope so.
Like guys
I know Sidney Crosby will.
Crosby got his name on the cup 3 times.
Yeah.
Trying to go for a 4th. I don't think they'll win, but
They won't. But
he still wants to win.
Bergeron has his name twice on the cup. Char's got his name on the cup a couple times. Marchand's got his name on the cup a couple times.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like, or even, how about we just skipped over the Chicago Blackhawks. Duncan Keith, Jonathan Toews, Patrick Kane, all leaders.
And Patty Kane, as good as he was never a captain. Jonathan Toews was always the captain.
Yep. There you go. Because guess what? They didn't draft Patrick Kane being like, you're a good leader. He's like, yeah, you're a good goal scorer.
You're a goal scorer?
But you're going to fall in line.
You're going to fall in line.
You're going to fall in line. You're going to earn your way up. And that's the problem with this team. They're not earning their way up. Yeah, Matthews had 70 goals, whatever, but
69.
whatever. But does that make him a good leader because he can score goals? No. And what Toronto's been lacking in leadership, they have. Like, they don't have the guy when they're down in the dumps to reach into the fucking mud and pull their team out. They don't. Every year, they're slacking in the playoffs. Matthews, for some reason, can't score in the playoffs. Marner forgets how to pass in the playoffs. Like,
Matthews has a tummy ache.
Matthews has a tummy ache. I can't
games.
play.
Yeah.
Nazem Kadri's fucking putting people's faces through the boards and getting suspended, and then we lose the series. Like, just stupid shit.
Nylander last year. Oh, my head hurts.
Yeah, I have a migraine. I can't play hockey.
Like, put your helmet on. And
Put your helmet on. Like, Patrice Bergeron, when they won the Stanley Cup, was playing with, like, one lung, broken ribs, like, whatever. Just fucking... I wish it was like 1952.
They had no cages, nothing, no helmets at all.
1952, whatever it was. What's his name? Bill Barocco broke his leg in the second period, came back in overtime, and scored the game-winning goal to win the Stanley Cup for the Maple Leafs. Where's that grit?
Those guys knew it. Those guys back then didn't give up.
Alex Ovechkin, he broke his leg like 3 weeks ago, and now he's back in the lineup scoring goals, playing like a stud. So... where's that on the Leafs? Where's the grit, toughness, and want to win on the Leafs? It's not there. It's just not there. But, hey, they're first in the Atlantic right now. We'll see what happens. But I'm hopeful, honestly. They look like they have a good team this year. They look like they have a defensive-minded team this year. I just hope Matthews steps up to the plate to be a leader. I hope that we keep all our cylinders firing during the playoffs and we don't just be a regular season team like we usually are. And I hope
that
Berube can keep the boys in check because he looks like a pretty stern, tough coach. So I hope he keeps the boys in check.
I just really hope that it's not going to be another first round exit. I really hope because I can't take another first round exit.
I can't take it anymore.
I can't take it anymore. I really want to see. I want to be able to watch the Leafs in May and June. I don't want to see them exit the playoffs.
During my lifetime, I haven't been able to watch the Leafs in May and June.
At all.
I'm 18 years old.
18 years old.
And then you have people that are like Tampa Bay fans that get to watch that every year.
Yeah.
Or like Boston fans.
Boston fans are like, yeah.
Basically, every team in the Atlantic Division is a good team, basically.
The Atlantic.
We have the hardest division.
We have the hardest division by far.
By far.
The Metro by far is probably the weakest
shit.
division.
Metro sucks. I wish we should be in the Metro Division. We're not even close to the Atlantic Coast. We should be in the Metro Division.
Pretty close to the Atlantic Ocean.
Yeah, so is New York's closer than we are, and they're in the Metro.
That's true.
So I'd like that swap. We'd make the playoffs every year, first ballot, no problem. First seed.
We make the playoffs every year in the Atlantic too.
Yeah, not first seed.
Second seed, third seed.
Yeah, first round exit, first round exit, first round exit, first round exit, second round exit, first round exit. Whatever. Making the playoffs just isn't good enough anymore for the Toronto Maple Leafs team.
And then
It's just not. Making the playoffs was good when we had like um, Michael Gorbachev as our top scorer with 22 goals. Making the playoffs was good. Now we have guys that are scoring 40 bombs. Like we have 3 guys scoring over 40 goals. Making the playoffs just isn't that anymore. It's not.
and also
It's not an accomplishment.
and also the reason like it's so hard when you lose in the first round every year. The media does not give a shit.
Well, yeah, fuck them.
He doesn't give a shit. And the
they
amount
paid fucking $14 million
and the
for
amount
hockey. Figure it out.
and the amount of pressure that the media puts on these players, it's good. They shouldn't have the pressure.
Honestly, I don't know though. There's like the Toronto Maple Leafs effect. Every player that leaves the Toronto Maple Leafs wins the Stanley Cup. Nazem Kadri wins Stanley Cup with Colorado. Jonathan Toews with the Blue Jackets. Sorry, not Jonathan Toews. Tyler Bozak
With the Blues.
with the Blues.
Who else? Phil Kessel.
Phil Kessel like 10 times.
3 times. 2 with the Penguins and 1 with Vegas.
Yeah, after eating fucking hot dogs on the golf course.
He would put hot dogs in his water and have hot dog water.
Hot dog water.
I remember reading that on Instagram and I was like, whoa.
There's no way that's real. That must be just a joke. There's no way that's real.
He built a. he was a meatball and he made a living off scoring goals. Something like.
Hey, well, fuck, dude. Like, who cares how
Whatever
you do
works.
it? Whatever works. I'll fucking get all of these Leafs players to eat hot dogs and drink hot dog water if we win Stanley Cups doing it. I don't care.
You know what I would love to see? Leafs Oilers Stanley Cup final. Imagine all Canadian.
Never, bro. The Canadian teams haven't won a Stanley Cup in like
Since '93.
25 years or 35 years. And you know what's funny? I see all these Americans that come to me like, oh yeah, Canadian teams never won a cup in 35, whatever. It's like, it's like you're an idiot. Every team that's won the Stanley Cup has been over 60% Canadian. Like, get the fuck out of here.
And mind you that we only have 7 Canadian teams. They have 23, 24 American teams.
Yeah, and they're all packed with Canadians.
Yeah.
So who are they kidding? Get out of here.
Hockey is Canada's sport.
Yeah. Hockey's Canada's sport. It's Americans, okay? Love you guys, but hockey's ours. You guys can keep baseball, football, and all your other bullshit, but hockey's ours.
Don't invade us, please.
No, we don't want to be the 51st state.
We don't. We want to be independent. Yeah, but like, when they say, "Oh yeah, America is our sport."
Yeah, hockey's
70%, 75% of the team is Canadian.
I know.
Meanwhile,
Like,
Canada never wins.
Shut up.
Your team's 75% Canadian. Like, come on, shut up.
But yeah, I wanted to finish talking about that Leafs versus Capitals game.
We kind of went on a tangent there.
Yeah, we did. We went from Leafs versus Capitals to leadership to hockey's still our game. Fuck off. So let's go back to that game. Hockey's, yeah. So Leafs had a tough game. They ran into a hot goalie.
Mm-hmm.
Logan Thompson played unreal. He robbed Nylander with 5 minutes left in the first period. Nylander cut all the way across the crease. And to note, Logan Thompson is a right-handed glove, which is very unusual in the National Hockey League because usually they have the glove on their left hand. And Nylander, for some reason, cannot score against right-gloved goalies. He just can't figure it out.
Really?
Yeah, he just can't figure it out. He can't score on the breakaway. He had 3 breakaways that game. He missed all of them.
And he went right to the glove side, too.
Yeah, he missed every single breakaway because he's used to the 5-hole being open. But when you cut across, this stick is actually on the ice now because usually it would be the glove. So this stick would be somewhere else. It wouldn't be like following the same path. So you'd always go 5-hole. But now he can't figure it out. He had 3 breakaways. He missed all 3.
And normally, Nylander is a pretty good breakaway player.
Yeah, he is. He missed all 3 breakaways, and then he cut across the net, and fucking Thompson comes out, dives across the net with his glove, and fucking snags it. Like, just wide open net, and he just shot it right into his glove. He snagged it. So, look, unlucky, a bit of unluckiness, a bit of Nylander not knowing how to score against right glove goalies, but...
And 2 of those goals, I believe, for the Caps came on the point. From the point. We were not covering the points really well.
We weren't. Chikrin had a fucking...
Bomb
of a one-timer shot. I mean, just clean in. Screen and power play. Penalty trouble. They score on the power play.
And where did this Caps team come out? Like they were supposed to be they're supposed to be like a mid-pack team, like in the hunt
Yeah,
team for the
especially with
playoffs.
Ovechkin injured, they're supposed to be shit.
And now
They're first in the
and
league.
now they're fourth. Yeah, I think fourth in the league overall.
Like,
right?
but the Leafs dominated the third period.
Yeah.
They dominated. They had so many chances. They just couldn't capitalize on a single one. So, you know what? Look, they played a good game. Sometimes the puck just doesn't bounce your way. That's hockey sometimes. That's it.
At the end of the day, whoever team gets the most amount of good bounces wins the game, right?
Yeah, Murray's second game back after having that win, he struggled. The first goal he let in some shitty little goal. He basically hit in the net.
What was Wall doing? Why did he not play? Like,
I don't know. I guess he had a day off, but he he shot it and like it went right through his leg. He should have had that one. He struggled in the first period. He played good in the third period, but by then they're already down, right? Like you need goalies that start. I love goalies that start off hot. Because look, it's good to make big saves in the third period, but if you start off hot, usually you keep the momentum.
I'm really missing Stolars right now. He needs to get back.
We had like one of the best 1-2 punches in the league, and now we're like kind of draining up. But hey,
we're still winning.
We're still top of the division, but that's also a little bit attributed. That's also attributed to the fact that we're a shootout team. We can score goals, which helps. But Domi was looking great.
The past
couple games.
Past like 6-game stretch, he's had like 3-4 goals.
Yeah, Tavares is disgusting in the face-off dot.
Yes, over like 70%.
He was like in the first period, he was 7 for 8. He is an animal, and the ozone he's even higher. He just wins.
He's good. He on even both sides of the dot, on the left and right, he's able to win it back on his forehand. He's able to tie him up and win it back, right?
Yeah, McMahon had a nice goal too.
Yeah,
McMahon from Domi.
That's another guy. He's
been hot too. But Domi gave him a nice pass and off a 2-on-1 Ovechkin. Don't get me wrong, he's still a great player, but he's looking a little old. He's looking a little slow. He wasn't there on the back.
No matter how many seasons it takes him, he'll break that record no matter what.
Buddy, time catches up with everyone. You cannot escape.
As long as you can stand,
you cannot escape it.
No, as long as you can stand in the office on the top of the right dot or left dot, and you're able to have a hammer of a slap shot.
Fucking stands there like this,
yeah,
waiting for it. And you only don't understand. He's been doing this for 20 fucking years.
People should be able to know.
You think one team would be like, Ovechkin's here waiting for the one-timer. Maybe we should cover him. He's only scored like 500 goals.
And also, he doesn't even move.
And he doesn't even move. He just literally, he just rotates his body. He's like here, and he just rotates.
And the only time he moves is when he's falling into the shot. That's
he just moves on the follow-through, and then he moves when he's selling.
Yeah,
it's ridiculous. Or like stick on fire.
Yeah.
That was the best sell I've ever seen.
And he's still getting paid $8 million or whatever, how many $1 million he's getting paid.
He's another guy that's like taking pay cuts to win championships.
And he won one in 2018.
Yeah. That was the most deserved Stanley Cup ever.
Debatable.
Besides Ray Bork.
Debatable.
Besides Ray Bork, when he finally won his cup after like 21 years, Ovechkin, that sealed his legacy. Because you look at guys that have been amazing players that haven't won Stanley Cups. No one really they were great players, but they weren't legends.
I think
legends win Stanley Cups. Like Marcel Dion, he was an amazing player. He's top 10 in points all time. But everyone remembers Ovechkin's name over his because he has a cup. Simple as that.
I think the most deserved winning cup in the past how many years I can remember, like 20 years, was the St. Louis Blues in 2019.
No.
Listen to me.
No.
They were last place in the Central Division throughout 40 games.
Yeah. They were fighting in practice and
they won 17 games straight. I'm pretty sure tied for most wins consecutively. 17 games straight. And they came into the playoffs, I believe, as a wild card too, and they won the playoff and they won the whole thing, right?
Yeah, I know. I'm not saying
most deserving win.
No,
most deserving win.
I'm saying by a player, not by a team.
That was the most deserving win by a whole team.
By a whole team for sure, but I'm saying for one player, that was the most deserving win. Maybe you can argue Ray Bork. He spent 21 years, and his last year with Colorado, he won. Fine, that's the only argument you can have. besides Ovechkin. Ovechkin winning that cup sealed his legacy, and you could see it on his face when he lifted that cup. He was louder than the people in the stands.
He's like, I'm in the Hall of Fame now, boys.
Yeah, Hall of Fame. Well, he was already there, but he's like, now I've cemented my legacy.
And the thing is, he doesn't even need to play hockey anymore. He retired literally right now, but he wants to go for the goal record, which I like.
Wouldn't you? If you already did all that, you might as well go for it.
And just still being able to play, and all you got to do is stay on the left dot and just rip clappers, short side or far side, whatever it is.
Yeah.
That's all you got to do. I do that in a heartbeat.
Me too. Leafs vs. Capitals, the same kind of Toronto Maple Leaf style of hockey. They were really pushing on the offensive zone, but when the puck was in their D zone, they looked very scrambly. They didn't look like ready for that Washington Capitals offense. That's been surprisingly very good, even though it, on paper shouldn't be.
On paper, they're not that good, honestly. There's like
paper it shouldn't be, but whatever it is, whatever their coach is doing right now,
they fired their coach.
Finding the way.
They fired their coach, hired a new. I'm pretty sure he's a young guy too. The coach.
Yeah.
Like maybe 30, 40 years old.
Yeah, he's a stud, obviously. Like he's leading a first place team that shouldn't be in first place right now, who had their star player injured for like a month. So obviously they're doing something right.
Yeah. Fuck. Where's the Leafs, man?
Hey, first in the Atlantic, they're catching. Just they need to fill in. I hope by the trade deadline they get one more defenseman.
One more defenseman? And
one more defenseman.
Who are they going to place? Right now, I think the least
Myers.
Yeah,
the third line defenseman.
Leafs?
Yeah. Not Tyler Myers.
Who's Myers? I never heard of Myers.
Exactly. He's like number 51. I don't even know his name. Like he's a farm guy. He's like one of those guys, you know what I'm saying? Like a call-up guy. I just want one more depth defenseman. It doesn't even have to be like a Victor Hedman, a Drew Doughty, Cale Makar. It doesn't have to be depth like that. It can be depth like Darnell Nurse. Well, actually, we'll never get Darnell Nurse because he has a $10 million contract. We're not taking him, and he sucks.
We need a young guy that's experienced, but a young guy and is willing to play for $2-3 million.
Yeah, good luck.
Like maybe who's young? Maybe
I'd like a Brendan Montour.
Brendan Montour is still $7-8 million.
Yeah.
I want a guy like Rasmus Dahlin, or
he's also $7-8 million.
Or like Jack Quinn, or where's Jack Quinn Ford? I don't know. Jack Quinn, or even Owen Power. A big guy, Owen Power, can be in the net, block shots, go in the corner. You know? Guy like that.
Yeah, we miss Dustin Byfuglien, eh?
Dustin Byfuglien doesn't play. He's not even playing.
That's what I'm saying. I miss him. I wish he was still in the league.
He'd probably still be $8-9 million.
No.
Just for a body like that can
He couldn't score, though.
He can score.
No, he couldn't.
He had an unbelievable
When you think of Dustin Byfuglien, what's the first thing that comes to your mind?
Big hits.
What's the second thing that comes to your mind?
Fighting.
What's the third thing that comes to your mind?
I don't know.
Nothing. Exactly. He couldn't score for shit. But you need that body on the ice. He was like he was a little better than Ryan Reeves. He could skate a little better. He had a good shot. But he was a presence on the ice. And that's what you need to win championships. Presence on the ice.
Or even Bowen Byram on the Colorado.
Yeah.
I think he'd be an unbelievable fit on the Leafs.
Yeah. We need a right-handed shot on the point. That's what we do need. We need one more right-handed defenseman.
Who's right-handed? No.
Those are hard to come around these days in the NHL.
I imagine Cale Makar on the Leafs.
Yeah, I don't know. Any of you viewers, leave a comment if you think Leafs should get on the defenseman, but yeah.
I think our forwards are good. We got good depth, I think. Right now we got some pretty good depth. We just need we need some more vets on that team. Vets on D at least.
You think so? I think we have a pretty old line if anything. Oliver Ekman Larson, Tanev, Riley. Everyone's fucking old on our blue line. Our blue line's old. Our blue line's like the geriatric clinic.
That's funny.
Honestly, I'd rather it old than young, to be honest with you, for defense. The only problem with old defensemen is they have a lot of health issues usually. They usually have really bad knees, a lot of concussions. Because defense is a tough position, man. Like, you're battling in front of the net, and you're always just like getting knee on knee in the corners.
Whatever happened to Jake Muzzin?
He broke his neck, dude.
And he broke his neck.
He broke his vertebrae. He swan dived into the boards during the COVID season, and he had like back spasm issues, and I think he just ended up retiring.
Or Zach Bogosian or something like that. Like,
He's shit at
he's
hockey.
shit, but like he's a big guy.
I know he's a big guy, but like you also don't want a dust bag on defense. You need a skilled defenseman.
He won 2 Stanley Cups with Tampa, right?
Yeah, I guess.
Tampa was also unbelievable at the time.
Tampa also had Sergachev. Fucking, they were like 15 million over the salary cap too. And everyone's uninjured in the playoffs now. Let everyone come back, right? So, hey, they finessed the system.
Kucherov,
Don't need to play.
Kucherov and Vasilevsky were both out during that year.
Yeah.
And they come back right for the playoffs.
Yeah.
Right for the playoffs.
Yeah, we're healthy now.
We're healthy now. They made it in. They made it in the wild card. Oh yeah, get everyone back. The boys going. Let's go. Let's go.
Retire.
Unbelievable.
Well, I think we got through everything we wanted to get through today. So, thank you for listening to the season 1, episode 2 of the Gettin Chippy podcast. I'm your host, Michael.
I'm Alex.
And thank you for listening, and we'll see you next Saturday.
Perfect.
See ya.
Get your duds in order, 'cause we're bound to cross the water. Heave away, me jollies.